So I was 16 years old. I was at secondary school at City London Freeman's, and I was just about to take my GCSEs, kind of in quite a good place, kind of figuring out where I was going in life. Played a lot of sport, had quite a nice rounded social life, and was just enjoying being a teenager, really. Started to get severe headaches, which I'd never experienced before. Generally very healthy, didn't suffer from headaches or migraines, but just became very anxious and quite paranoid about different things. Started to retreat into myself, and aversion to bright lights, and just only really felt comfortable kind of shut away in a dark room. On the day that I really became ill, I was meant to be playing a sevens competition, which normally really pumped and excited about, but just became very overwhelmed and ended up in hiding under the stairs. I just was in so much pain, and from there onwards it was just a kind of downward spiral into not speaking, confusion around diagnosis, kind of late teens, so they thought I was possibly taking drugs. So it didn't really occur to them that I might be suffering with a virus, or that my brain might have been inflamed. And it quickly went from seeing the GP to being admitted to a psych ward, and then it was quite a long stint in hospital. But by 2004 I was discharged and had finished a limited amount of rehab, and I was back into education by attending a hospital tuition service. All my friends effectively moved on very quickly. I kind of had a mixed group of friends from sport. As I wasn't training or playing sport anymore, they moved on very quickly. And then my school friends, because I didn't return back to the school that I was originally at, moved on with GCSEs, A-levels, going to university. So very quickly I went from having a big support network and quite a nice group of friends to not really having anybody at all. I ended up in going to college, which was very different, but I didn't really have the skills or the understanding to cope with that different educational environment. So I ended up in, for the first time, failing courses, which I wasn't really used to. So I ended up in starting courses and not being able to complete them, which was very demoralising. So I eventually took an access to university course, which I passed, which enabled me to go on to university, which is kind of the path I always envisaged, having been in an educational system which the end goal was always to go to university. But I'd say the first year of university, being kind of let loose into the world, freshers, going out, kind of burnt the candle at both ends, and very quickly found myself back at home and needing to actually gain the skills to cope with encephalitis. So I spent a year at the Queen Elizabeth Foundation in Banstead, actually spending time with people my age with brain injuries. It kind of was my first time that I accepted that things were different and that I needed to kind of think outside the box. So I rejoined Oxford Brookes University in 2009, 2010 for my second year. Managed through a lot of grit and determination and stubbornness to graduate in 2012. I'd always been very passionate about sport. It was a big part of my life. But I realised after I got ill that I wasn't going to be able to play at the level I wanted to, or even compete in the sports that I enjoyed the most, especially contact sports like rugby. But over time, kind of through guidance from coaches and looking at sport in a slightly different way, realised that coaching could keep me in contact with the sports that I loved. I started to really see the benefits of coaching and the joy of helping others and seeing them improve and setting up sessions that were enjoyable. And yeah, it was a kind of a breakthrough moment for me at a time that I needed something to focus on. And that's where I think I kind of came to the realization of, I was 25, in theory everything had settled down, my brain had finished developing, and I started to make positive life changes. Moved into a rented house in Whitney, started to actually follow my dreams of coaching and started to just kind of enjoy life again. I met Mel. It was August the 19th, we got married. I just really wanted to find somebody to share my experiences with and have a friendship and relationship with. I think that makes a big difference, having somebody you can share your life with and talk to and enjoy time with. For me, Mel has been a big positive in my life. By January 2019, started to ask questions about why I was still in pain, having flashbacks, struggling with things that I thought shouldn't be affecting me all this time after encephalitis. And it was only then that I rang up the Encephalitis Society and asked them questions, and I met somebody with encephalitis, really for the second time. But I think the kind of slightly cruel part of encephalitis is when you're a teenager, your brain's still developing. So it took quite a few years for the kind of full effects of encephalitis to come out. So it's only really in the last 6 years I've started to make progress each year and really notice the positives side that can come out of living with encephalitis. Give yourself a break, listen to your body, and also find somebody that you can talk to. Especially this last year, I've opened up a lot more, become far more aware of what encephalitis is. The Encephalitis Society has really helped with that. And actually becoming a volunteer, being around the society and others and going to events has given me a massive insight into myself and also what encephalitis is, which is quite, it's a very complicated condition, and understanding a little bit about it definitely has been a big breakthrough for me.